The bomb was never supposed to survive. A 30,000-pound bunker buster designed to punch through reinforced mountains before detonating deep underground with enough force to collapse hardened nuclear infrastructure. The most powerful non-nuclear weapon in the American arsenal, dropped from a B-2 stealth bomber during one of the most complex long-range strike operations in recent military history. And from the very beginning, Operation Midnight Hammer sent a message the world understood instantly. The United States could reach targets buried beneath mountains from the other side of the planet. That's what made the operation terrifying. Not just the bombs, the reach, because the targets inside Iran were among the most heavily protected military facilities on Earth. Fordow and Natanz, underground nuclear complexes buried beneath layers of reinforced rock and concrete specifically designed to survive airstrikes. Facilities built around one assumption. If war came, American bombers would eventually arrive. And when the operation finally began, they did. The first signs appeared long before the bombs hit. American surveillance aircraft intensified operations across the Gulf. Carrier strike groups repositioned into combat posture. Destroyers expanded missile defense coverage. Reconnaissance drones increased flight activity near key operational corridors. And somewhere beneath the Persian Gulf, American submarines were already moving silently into launch position. Completely hidden. Completely undetectable to most people watching events unfold. Then the launches began. Tomahawk cruise missiles erupted from beneath the ocean's surface before racing hundreds of miles toward Iranian targets. At nearly the same moment, electronic warfare systems began disrupting radar coverage and communications across sections of the battle space. Signal interference spread. Tracking systems became unstable. Confusion started building across defensive networks before many operators even realized the attack had fully begun. That's what modern American military power actually looks like. Not isolated strikes, integrated warfare, stealth bombers, cruise missiles, electronic warfare, naval assets, surveillance systems, everything synchronized together. And while missiles crossed the Gulf, B-2 Spirit stealth bombers were already approaching their targets after launching from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri on missions lasting more than 30 hours round trip. Think about how insane that actually is. Aircraft leaving the continental United States, crossing oceans, penetrating hostile airspace, dropping bunker-busting weapons on underground facilities buried beneath mountains, then returning home. Only a handful of nations on Earth can even attempt operations like that. And realistically, only one nation can sustain them at scale. That's why the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator became central to the mission. A 30,000-pound bunker buster so massive only the B-2 could carry it. Designed specifically to destroy targets ordinary bombs cannot reach. And the terrifying thing about the GBU-57 is how it actually works. The weapon doesn't explode immediately. It punches downward first, through reinforced concrete, through hardened underground structures, through layers of solid rock, then detonates deep below the surface. Imagine what that felt like inside those underground facilities. No visible aircraft overhead, no warning. Just violent tremors suddenly ripping downward through the mountain itself, dust falling from tunnel ceilings, shockwaves moving through underground corridors, emergency alarms screaming through buried command centers, then silence, waiting to see if another impact was coming next. And once the strikes hit, the pressure on Iranian military infrastructure intensified immediately. Tunnel entrances collapsed, access corridors suffered damage, underground operations became increasingly difficult to coordinate. And almost immediately, Iranian military assets began shifting into survival mode. Aircraft relocated toward emergency operating locations. Mobile missile launchers repositioned constantly. Underground facilities activated defensive procedures. Military vehicles dispersed away from hardened sites before additional strikes could arrive. Because Iranian commanders understood something terrifying almost immediately. This was not a limited strike. This was the beginning of sustained American operational pressure. And once that pressure expands, modern warfare changes completely. Because once the United States begins establishing air superiority, every movement becomes dangerous. Every radar activation risks detection. Every launch corridor risks surveillance tracking. Every exposed command signal risks electronic interception. That's what makes American air dominance so difficult to fight. It doesn't just destroy targets. It slowly suffocates operational freedom across the battlefield. Meanwhile, American military activity across the region kept expanding. F-35 patrols increased operational coverage across key corridors. AWACS aircraft coordinated massive surveillance operations overhead. Refueling aircraft kept combat patrols airborne continuously. Destroyers repositioned defensively inside the Gulf, expecting retaliation attempts. Carrier-based aircraft expanded interception coverage deeper into contested airspace. And drones monitored suspected launch corridors around the clock. Slowly, the battlespace started changing. Iran still retained missile systems, drone capability, underground infrastructure, mobile launch assets. But operating those systems safely became increasingly difficult once American surveillance and air superiority tightened across the region. That's an important distinction, because surviving initial strikes is not the same thing as controlling the battlefield afterward. And honestly, that's the part many people misunderstand about modern warfare. Operations like Midnight Hammer are not usually designed to instantly erase every threat overnight. Modern militaries disperse, adapt, relocate, especially adversaries that spent decades preparing for conflict. Iran understood American air power was coming long before the war ever started. That's why they built underground tunnel systems, mountain fortresses, hidden launch corridors, mobile missile networks, entire military complexes designed around survival. But survival was never the same thing as dominance. Because while Iran focused on surviving, the United States focused on controlling the battle space itself. And once American operational pressure expanded, Iran increasingly found itself reacting instead of dictating events. Aircraft relocation became dangerous. Large-scale coordination became harder. Launch systems had to keep moving to avoid detection. And every hour, American surveillance remained overhead. The pressure grew heavier. That's what modern American military superiority actually means. Not invulnerability, not zero resistance, dominance through sustained operational control. Because even heavily fortified underground infrastructure cannot fully function once. Communications become disrupted, movement becomes restricted, airspace becomes contested, surveillance becomes constant, launch systems risk immediate detection. And despite decades of preparation, that reality started setting in quickly once Operation Midnight Hammer intensified. That's why the operation mattered far beyond the physical damage itself. It demonstrated something terrifying to America's adversaries. The United States does not need to destroy every target immediately to dominate a conflict. It only needs to establish enough control over the battle space to make operating against it increasingly dangerous and unsustainable. And honestly, that may be the most important lesson from the entire operation. Iran spent decades building hardened underground infrastructure designed to survive American air power. And despite all of that preparation, the United States still demonstrated an ability to project overwhelming force directly into some of the most heavily protected military zones on Earth. Which means somewhere tonight, inside underground tunnel systems buried beneath Iranian mountains, military planners may still be studying the same terrifying reality Operation Midnight Hammer demonstrated to the world. Even decades of hardened infrastructure, underground fortresses, dispersed launch systems, and mobile military networks could not stop the scale, precision, reach, adaptability, and dominance of modern American military power. We appreciate you checking out our channel. Feel free to like and subscribe for more awesome content.